Green Lantern New Guardians number 0, written by Tony Bedard, art by Aaron Cooter and Andre Bresson. This is directly following up from Green Lantern number 12 and 0, so make sure you know that going into this. More so number 12. But we see at Ferris Aircraft, there's a flight mechanic named Thomas Kalmaku who's just working on one of the jets, and Carol Ferris comes in and says, like, hey, what are you doing here after hours? And he's like, oh, geez, just wanted to fix up this plane. What are you doing here? And she's like, oh, Hal hasn't charged up his battery in a while, which he keeps in the storage locker over there. So I'm just sticking around because I figure he's got to be stopping by sooner rather than later. And he's just like, oh, okay, well, let's go check his locker, see if he actually took it or not. So they go into his locker and they see, like, nope, it's still in there, along with a bunch of pictures of you, Carol. Aw, isn't that cute? But then there's a little baggie down at the bottom of the locker, and they open it up, and inside is a wedding ring. It's a engagement ring, and Carol's caught off guard. She's like, I knew he was getting serious about our relationship, but oh geez, I didn't expect this. And then they see up in the sky there's a green trail of light coming down towards them, and it's just like, okay, oh geez, here it is, here's the moment. And getting in as it comes to land, it turns out it's Kyle Rayner, it's not Hal. And Carol's like, oh hey, you're Kyle Rayner. And he's like, okay, yeah, just use my civilian name, whatever. I'm looking for Star Sapphire. That you? And she's like, yeah, that's me. And yeah, just use my superhero name. Why not? And he's basically like, yeah, here's the deal. I'm looking for Hal because the Guardians are kind of going nuts, and I need some backup on this. And he's just like, oh, I don't know. He went off with Sinestro. I don't know what happened to him. He hasn't been around in a while. So at this point, TV's on, and they're talking about the fight going on in Green Lantern 12 against Black Hand, involving Hal and Sinestro. And immediately Carol's like, ah, crap. If Black Hand is back, they're going to need some backup because they need a different lantern color in order to get rid of the zombies. So she goes and she gets her other ring, and they start making their way down to the Coast City Cemetery where, of course, a bunch of zombies. Police have set up a perimeter. They're firing, headshots on all of them, but they're not doing anything because it's Black Lantern zombies rather than movie zombies, to which Carol specifically points out, like, yeah, that's not going to work. You need the power of a Green Lantern and any other Lantern Corps light, and that'll wipe them out. So Carol, now Star Sapphire, and Kyle team up with their burst of light and just start taking out the zombies. Seemingly the coast is clear. They make their way towards the big crater in the middle of the field, and they're like, whoa, hold up. Kyle feels a yellow lantern exploded here. And he's like, how in the hell can you feel yellow energy, Kyle? That doesn't make any sense. But at that point, a bunch more zombies all of a sudden pop out of the ground and just surprise attack Carol and Kyle. They start getting dragged down. They don't have the ability to join their lights together. So at this point, Kyle is like, oh, I can't do this alone. Please give me a sign. Give me hope. And all of a sudden, he, all by himself, uses both green and blue light at the same time. And Carol's like, excuse me, what was that? And he's like, oh, well, see, back in issue 1 of my series, I got a bunch of rings, and they all crumbled away after I used them for like 2 minutes. But ever since then, my wing's been a little bit funky, and now I can occasionally just leak extra powers. And she's like, yeah, I doubt that's really all that it is, but so be it. But at that point, they're like, okay, let's just ask my ring where Hal is. Ring, where's Hal Jordan? And it's like, Hal Jordan's dead. And it's like, what? No, he's not. It's like, yeah, Hal Jordan's dead. And it's like, okay, well, show me who has this ring now then. And they show a picture of Simon Baz. And he's just like, oh, okay, I guess Hal's dead. But Carol's like, no, he isn't. He can't be dead. It's like, well, the ring says he's dead, and there's another guy wearing his ring. So, yeah, Hal's dead. And Carol's like, no, you don't understand. I got the power of love. That's what Star Sapphires do. And, like, I can feel the link with him. He's still alive. He's still somewhere out there. And Kyle's like, the power of love, that's a thing. And she's like, yeah, it's a thing. Here, let me show you. And apparently they get a glimpse of Kyle's future in which he has to use all of the different Lantern Corps' emotions. Like, he has to be the one to combine all the powers together in order to stop whatever the big threat is that they aren't aware of yet. And Kyle's like, I mean, I could do compassion and hope, but like, I'm not really rage filled or greedy, so I don't think I can do that. And Carol's like, well, tough. You're gonna have to. That's now the direction of this book. And then we get half a universe away. A little setup for the Third Army story of the Guardians are welcoming the Zamorans, who are like the alien race in charge of the Star Sapphires. And like, hey, Zamorans! Like, usually we hate other people, but you're pretty cool. What's up? And Zamorans like, oh, hey, we heard you were killing all the Lantern Corps. We're already doing that with our Star Sapphires. So yeah, no, we're totally in. Let's destroy all the Lantern Corps. And yeah, that's where it leaves off. So obviously a major shift from what we were doing in the New Guardian storyline. I don't think we're actually going to see the rest of the team together again. Like the Fatality, Saint Walker, Larfleeze is obviously gone. The cover of this trade at least gives Arkillo and Saint Walker showing back up, but it's a far cry from, Bleeze of the Red Lanterns and all the other tribes. So yeah, no, this definitely feels like the shift where it's going to be less of, okay, one of every Lantern Corps and more of how do we get Kyle to become one of every Lantern Corps and eventually become, as the cover spoils, the White Lantern. So I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this new direction. Carol's involved now, giving her some agency. I'm liking that. And yeah, I'm interested to see how this will all tie into the Third Army stuff coming up. So overall, this issue gets a... I'll give it an 8. I definitely did enjoy it. I think it was very well done. So looking forward to that.